This is Europe in the early 1800s. The age of nationalism and empires began with a continent divided. Across the continent, crowds gathered to wave their new national flags, signaling a powerful and growing sense of peril. As nationalism swept the continent, public squares became the stages for fervent patriotic speeches. Artists in the Romantic era traveled to paint these dramatic national landscapes. Capturing the lost generations, our poets and writers have played a crucial role in celebrating our unique national culture. Nationalism is a complex ideology that emphasizes the distinct culture and interests of a nation above all others. Here we see the peninsula was actually a patchwork of smaller, distinct states, each with their own rulers and lahedvim. Intelligence suggests that representatives from these varied territories are converging in the north for a high story. The triumphant march into the Italian towns garnered crucial public support for the campaign. Between 1848 and 1871, the fragmented states of the Italian peninsula were consolidated under the House of Oaks. The unification of Italy in 1861 marked a pivotal moment in European history, reshaping the
streets of the Eternal City are alive with color and sound today as Romans celebrate this historic occasion.
Moving on from the celebrations here, we follow the historical route north into the territories of the German states. German lands divided into many kingdoms. Meet Otto von Bismarck, the master strategist behind the unification of the German states in 1871. At this crucial meeting, Bismarck aligned his diplomatic goals with the military's strategic operations. The Prussian military machine was defined by its relentless discipline and these incredibly precise formations. The vast formations behind me represent the sheer scale of this symbolic conflict. Before 1871, Germany was merely a patchwork of independent states. It was through decisive militia in 1871, the various German states united to form the German Empire. In 1871, in the aftermath of victory, the German Emperor was officially proclaimed here in the Hall of Mirrors. On this day in 1871, unprecedented crowds gathered in Berlin to celebrate the unification of Germany. With unification achieved, these newly formed nations now face the critical task of building strong, and Indian powers are currently displaying significant military strength, with a build-up of troops and naval assets across the continent. The primary focus has shifted to the naval fleets, which are now sailing across the oceans in unprecedented numbers. This marked the beginning of a vast colonial network, where naval dominance directly translated into territorial. These imposing structures served as the administrative hubs of overseas territories, authorities. The ceremonial raising of these flags officially established governance over the newly acquired distant territories, rival European powers watching each other cautiously.
This marks the formation of new military alliances, cemented by symbolic handshakes between global leaders. These sprawling industrial complexes operate around the clock, dedicated to the high-volume manufacturing of these industrial complexes, represented a new theatre for what historians now call imperial competition. Across the globe, newspapers were filled with headlines just like these, explicitly warning of the rising tensions between. As you can see, rising tensions are reaching a breaking point.
This entire proposal is a disgrace! You have no right!
The political deadlock has led to a dangerous increase in regional instability.
We interrupt this broadcast with breaking news just crossing the wire. We are now confirming the assassination of a key. Tensions were already high in the Balkans when the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand triggered the Great War. Never before has the continent faced such instability. With political violence turning to the streets, we must ask. Reports confirm widespread military mobilization at key railway stations across the border, escalating. Across the continent, families are facing heartbreaking choices. These crowds wave goodbye, their emotions meet because, in a significant move, the Seb Truve, the Southport Fate, is the Billet White Brida. These newly formed defence ties are rapidly reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the entire continent. These blue lines represent a consolidation of traditional alliances in the West. However, we are simultaneously as a shadow is now spreading across the continent as these dark clouds manifest directly over the conflict. By the summer of 1914, the intricate web of alliances had already set the stage. The year is 1914. Decades of complex alliances and imperial ambitions. By the end of 1914, the conflict had escalated dramatically, plunging the continent into totalness. By the end of 1914, the initial conflict had settled into a grim reality. By the summer of 1914, Europe's intricate alliances had set the stage for a conflict unlike any.
1914. In 1914, Europe was dominated by two major blocs. The Central Powers, Germany and Austria-Hungary, highlighted peace.
This early morning light saw the beginning of the deployment, as soldiers filled the stations, unaware.
This station witnessed countless emotional goodies, capturing the peaceful yet heavy hearts of the French. Trains moving through countryside, clouds drifting overhead.
Though it stands empty of soldiers today, this peaceful overview hides the fact that these were once some of the muddiest drifts. These earthen lines stretch as far as the eye can see, a stark reminder of the reality faced him. The presence of these fortifications, the sandbags and the rusted wire, highlights the enduring tension that stationed here in the trenches spent their quiet moments writing letters home, seeking connection amidst the chaos. The collection of mail is more than logistics. It is a symbolic lifeline, connecting separated communities across. While men fought on the battlefields, a different kind of war was being waged right here at home. Across the country, women flocked to factories to produce the weapons and supplies desperately needed for the war effort.
The rhythmic work you see ensures our troops have the supplies they need. Only together, working as one, can we ensure the strength of our nation and the ultimate victory of our cause. Every crate we ship helps the cause. And for those who return needing care, our dedicated medical staffs. Maintaining the front lines required immense resources. As medics tended to the wounded, trains ensured Vundi Eichreich. Positioned along the ridge, these batteries represented the sheer scale of the Pars. The soldiers here maintain a calm, steady pacing through these earthen trenches, ever ready for wield. The observation balloons floating above these fields provide vital intelligence for the forces below. As the map indicates, the front lines have shifted dramatically in the last 24 hours, marking a critical turn. 4 years of devastating conflict have permanently redrawn the borders shown here, impacting.
The northern route, indicated here by the red dashed line, presents significant logistical challenges due to the mountain front of interest.
Here we have established a secure corridor specifically for medical evacuations. The smoke rising from these chimneys represents the around-the-clock production of vital ammunition supplies. For these citizens, daily life means waiting in endless lines, exchanging hard-earned coupons for meager food rations. These figures represent the confirmed civilian casualties in the region, showing a steady rise over the last quarter. What began as a small defensive measure has rapidly expanded into one of the largest military formations in history. The sudden shift in terrain makes solo movement impossible. Here, teamwork is vital as they pull each other through. The fighting has ceased, leaving these trenches abandoned after the battle, now silent and empty under the afternoon sun. Here on the Western Front, the lines remained deadlocked for years. While far to the east, battles at Gallipoli. The current troop movements indicate that we are entering the final phase of the conflict in this region. The cessation of hostilities paves the way for this historic gathering, where leaders will finalize the peace agreement. This historic agreement, being signed here today, promises to bring stability to the region after years of conflict. As the documents were signed, the flags were raised in a moment of celebration, signifying a crucial symbolic victory. Across the city streets, citizens have gathered in massive numbers to celebrate this historic occasion. The long wait is over as these troops arrive back on home soil.
met immediately by the emotional embraces. After months of waiting, these soldiers are finally experiencing the emotional reunions they've dreamed of on this. The road to recovery is long, but as you can see behind me, the work of rebuilding these shattered communities, the borders of Europe were dramatically redrawn in the wake of the conflict, attempting to establish a lasting peace.
The League of Nations building stands today as a continuing symbol of international cooperation and the pursuit. The Treaty of Versailles, signed here in 1919, was meant to secure peace, but its harsh terms, after years of devastating conflict, a lasting peace is finally taking hold across the continent. Factories slowly restarting, smoke rising gently.
Local residents are taking charge of their recovery, working together to plant community gardens and rebuild homes stronger than before.
Providing safe streets for our children is crucial for their development and well-being.
These historic newspapers capture a pivotal moment, reporting not just peace, but sweeping societal reforms.
The image of these leaders shaking hands today serves as a powerful symbol of unity, paving the way for security. And as we move swiftly through the early decades of the century, we arrive at a pivotal moment in it. Taking a closer look at the current geopolitical landscape, we see a fragile stability defined by exposed strength. Across the continent, the signs of conflict are fading. Tonight, we see the
Following the devastation of the Great War, Europe entered a new and fragile era, the interwar period.